streets, leave it in the street. Case on the news.
What I do, lace up my shoes, chase W's, great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Minnesota Vikings.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Break the hot.
54 miles.
No gain on this defense. No gain.
Hey, 382, Lynch 50. Break the hot.
They'll start on the ground with Lynch. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get... Timeout instead. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, Haywood.
Cousins now. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 44-yard line. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Cousins gives way to Cook, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run. I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Able to push his way through. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10.
Set. Ready?
Mark the screen. Mark the screen.
A first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Newton. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Here's Newton. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A gain of 32 that time. Well, that'll help get you out of danger. So much for playing it conservatively back towards your own goal line.
That aggressive mentality, sometimes you can use it, and they did there against a defense who probably thought to themselves, there's no way they take a shot here this deep in their own territory.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Nick Bosa. Credit him with the sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, here's Newton. He's going to let this one go deep. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Cook. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this 1st quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. Down the numbers. There he goes. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Cousins to throw it. They'll set up the screen to Lynch. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jalen Ramsey with a sack on the corner blitz. 2nd quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement. And off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So what did they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how did they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1.
They've got to do a better job up front and create some space because they're right there, almost literally on their own goal line.
Just a couple of feet away from a safety. That could have been disastrous. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way. Well, now what do? Do you run it again? Didn't have success there, or do you throw it?
Yeah, I think in play action right now. Fake it and get a quick pass to your favorite receiver and just try and gain some yardage and help out your punter.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down.
20.
From the end zone, Newton. And got his man complete. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle, 99 yards. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. So how about that for a backbreaker? Again, 99 yards.
And how about the audacity of the play call? When you're backed up that close to your goal line, usually you're just trying to run some type of a wedge play, a quarterback sneak, a dive, anything to try and create some room and take care of the ball. But that's confidence in your offensive line that they'll protect the guy throwing it, and he finds his guy for 99 yards. I love what they just did.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Throwing on 2nd down. Cousins trying to lay one up deep. He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. A big play there for Minnesota. 42 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing is Cousins. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now this throw caught left side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now Newton. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. Flush to his right.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. They run with Barkley on 1st down, and he gets about 5 out of it. Anthony Harris on the tackle.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
From the 16, Newton. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Nick Bosa able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You got to get it done with your offensive unit.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you don't
want to.
No. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
It's 4th down.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get into field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
On 1st down, it's Newton. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. From the red zone now, Newton. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
Check. Wait. Hey. Me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And eventually eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. And taken right on the 30. Oh, he nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Lynch running the counter. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. To throw, Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The throw over the middle, taken in, and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
1st down, San Francisco.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Watch the slant.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Newton. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Deebo Samuel, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Zerline now for the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Makes it 3rd and 4.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. The open man is Smith. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 40. 1st down, the run with Lynch. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. Open man here is Conklin. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. They run. Lynch. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And his throw here is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure.
Lynch fighting. He fumbles. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here. And now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. They begin with a run by Barkley. And some room to maneuver. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, 49ers. Saquon Barkley, 88 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. Zerline good with a PAT, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
First down and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing, Cousins. They set up the screen to Lynch. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Cousins now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12. 45-yard line.
Like 54. Hey, watch the leg.
What's that?
Right there.
On 2nd and 12, Cousins under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Pick me up. Here we go.
Cam fakes the give and keeps it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
Ready? Ready?
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Here we go.
Ready?
Now a first down throw for Newton. Throwing right, and that's complete. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can make a play on the football.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
He's going to let it fly. It's caught at the 10. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 52 yards. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. They'll run with Lynch. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now Cousins. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. 3rd and goal for Cousins. And a big loss here as he's taken down. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. From the left hash, this from 39. Bullock's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Niners, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road test next week